So guys, we are continuing from that part we're talking about, because we're talking about the race, so we're saying that Adam is put there in the Garden of Eden, and then he disobeys the word of God and dies spiritually, so he became dead. The world died as well, and his flesh died as well. So even if Jesus comes and preached this message of the kingdom of heaven that Adam lost there in the Garden of Eden, he will give us the blood and our spirit will be taken care of, but the flesh will not change, because we're still living, or we are still inhabiting this kingdom of darkness. So to understand this one, please go to the previous one we did, because we started them. So because we are talking about Jesus's race now, why he had to come as a Jew, you understand, because people have a problem with his nationality and his race and stuff. So we need to understand all of that. So people try to say, oh, I'm going to worship this black guy because I'm black. I'm going to worship this Indian guy because I'm Indian. I'm going to worship this Chinese guy because I'm a Chinese. I'm going to worship this Japanese guy because I'm a Japanese. You understand? So at the end of the day, guys, we need to explain all of those things. So now he's dead. And I said that, remember, that the Bible starts in Genesis 1, Genesis 2, and Genesis 3, it ends. Because Adam dies there, and the Garden of Eden is removed because he's now dead, and Satan is now taking over. He's disconnected from the kingdom of heaven because he had a father, or Jesus, who was of the kingdom of heaven. That's why Jesus came with the message of the kingdom of heaven and says we should preach it, because it's what Adam lost right there in the beginning. So Satan is now dead spiritually. Adam is now dead spiritually and under Satan, right? So now, because of that, the Bible ends in Genesis 3 where Adam dies. You understand, spiritually. The guy did not die physically, because he died after 930 years. So he didn't die physically, but he died spiritually. You understand? Then, spiritually he died instantly, because he partook of Satan's nature right there. Because spiritual death, guys, is instant. It's the physical death that takes time. You understand? Nevertheless, now the Garden of Eden is removed. You understand? So the Bible ends in Genesis 3. Starts in Genesis 1, Genesis 2, Genesis 3, it ends. Because after Genesis 3, Daddy is now with Jesus trying to repair man to his former nature, the nature of being spiritually alive. You understand? So from Genesis 3, it's the start of the repairs. So I will repeat this. The Bible starts in Genesis 1, Genesis 2, and it ends in Genesis 3, where Adam dies spiritually. After that, Satan takes over. Therefore, Daddy is now starting to repair man, to go back to his former nature, a nature where he's spiritually alive. So how he must do that? He must bring the man through whom Adam was born, which is, who is Jesus. And Jesus must come down here and preach the message of the kingdom of heaven that Adam lost right there in the beginning, because Adam was born through Jesus, by the Father through Jesus. Adam came from Jesus, who came from the Father. You understand? And we said that Adam is a different race. Adam could not have been white. Adam could not have been black. Adam could not have been an Indian. Adam could not have been a Japanese or a Chinese or whatever race. Adam was a race that was to give all these different races here on earth. So we don't know the race of Adam. You understand? Now we are continuing. So we said it ends in Genesis 3. Then after that is the repairs, because Daddy is trying to repair man to go back to his former nature, the nature he was created, meaning spiritually alive, where he was like God, because man became like Satan. You understand? You often hear people say, we are like God, you are like God. You're not like God. When you're born physically, you're not like God, because you're born spiritually dead, and it wasn't your fault. It was Adam's. You were still in Adam's loins. I was still in Adam's loins, so I was born spiritually dead. Guys, that one is clear now. Now, Daddy, because he's trying now to repair man from Genesis 3. So once you understand that, you look at the Bible from a different point of view, and when you read it, you now understand, oh, now Daddy is trying to repair man, because you don't understand why he's doing all of this. He's going there, he's doing that, he's calling this, you understand, he's doing that. It's because he's now trying to repair man. From Genesis 3, after Adam dies spiritually, he's repairing men right up to the time where Jesus comes, where in the New Testament, in the Gospel of Matthew, right? So he's now looking for a man who will obey him. Now, because men are spiritually dead, yes, you find that Cain and Abel were different because, guys, in Adam's loins, there were two different seed. We're speaking about the sheep and the wolf, and I speak a lot about them because the kingdom of heaven message must, because, guys, it's a must that we speak about the sheep and the wolf. So now, Cain and Abel, even though they're spiritually dead, because Abel is of the wolf, is of the sheep's seed, and Cain is of the wolf seed, they will obviously not be the same, even though they're spiritual. They don't understand as well. But guys, the sheep will fight sin. The sheep will fight to obey daddy, but the wolf will not. The wolf will just give in to the world because they are of the world. They are like Adam. You understand? So Cain and Abel are different in that way. Nevertheless, let us move forward. So daddy is saying men are extremely evil. Men are so evil. They are like Satan, So there was a need for what? For the flood. That's why there was the flood. Guys, once you understand what happens in the beginning, you understand the event that takes place in the Bible, right? So there was a need for the flood because human beings are now extremely evil. Because that is like, oh, no, I'm not going to get anyone who's right. These people will influence and pressure each other, and therefore I will not be able to keep a person who will obey me. So he makes sure that there is a flood. He leaves Noah, his wife, and his 3 kids, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, their wife, and their wives as well. So from the children of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, Shem is the one who obeyed daddy, right? And then daddy is concentrating on him now because he's the one who obeyed daddy. Noah also gave birth to children of different races. You understand? So no one will also tell you the race of Noah. No one, because the guy gave birth to different races. You understand? That's why we are here. Because if you read the Acts of the Apostles, chapter 17, it says that from one man we all came. You understand? Who is Adam? Who came from Jesus? Who came from the Father? You understand? But now Noah is the one who's left. And Noah is giving birth to these rebels, to these different races as well. You understand? So what is happening now is daddy trying to find this man. He already made sure that there is a flood because he's trying to lessen the number of people here on earth because they're extremely evil. You understand? So he's lessening the number and he's concentrating on the one who will obey him. Then Shem is obeying him, and Shem gives birth to Abraham, who also obeys him. Then daddy struck a covenant with Abraham. Now, if daddy struck a covenant with Abraham, will it be possible for Jesus to come from a different nation? No, Jesus must come from the nation of the Jews because Abraham was a Jew. Nevertheless, daddy has a son who is Jesus living in heaven, and daddy is going to give Abraham a son, and he says whatever is yours is mine. In other words, my son Jesus is going to be your son Abraham, and your son Isaac is going to be my son. And he struck a covenant, you understand, with him. Yet he was not concentrating on Isaac and Abraham because they are spiritually dead. He's concentrating on the fact that he needs to bring Jesus here on earth. That's why he says, Abraham, your son, my son is yours. I'm going to bring him there. He's your son. You understand? He's bringing the one who is spiritually alive. You understand? You see, guys, if you choose a man from your own race or from your own nation, that man will not be able to save you because that man has a tainted blood. Adam died spiritually, and all of us came from Adam. So if you choose a black man who came from Adam, you are choosing a person who can't save you because their blood is tainted. Do you understand? They also came from Adam, who died spiritually, who's also under Satan. Do you understand? If you are choosing an Indian man or a white man or a Japanese man or a Chinese man, whatever, that man, guys, any man who came from Adam, who was born of woman, who came from Adam, from the lineage of Adam, guys, that person is spiritually dead. That person cannot help you. That's why Jesus did, that is why Mary did not sleep with Joseph, because if Mary had slept with Joseph, Jesus would have been born spiritually dead, because Joseph and Mary were spiritually dead, because they also came from who? From Adam, who's spiritually dead. But because daddy was concentrating on Abraham's now, because Abraham obeyed him. In fact, if you read, okay, I think it's Deuteronomy 18 verse 25 down there, I can't remember, guys, with my dementia. Daddy says, I chose Abraham to teach his children my laws, because now he wants to teach these children of Abraham his laws, so that they will obey these laws, so that Jesus will come from that lineage. You understand? So Jesus is now supposed to come from that lineage, but Mary cannot sleep with Joseph, because if Mary sleeps with Joseph, Jesus will be born spiritually dead, because he will also be coming from Adam, who, you understand, because Joseph is spiritually dead also with Mary, you understand. So daddy has, daddy must make sure that he puts a seed in Mary's womb. That's why Jesus was born by a virgin, because Jesus had to be put there. A spirit had to be put. A spirit could not come from the lineage of Adam, because Adam was spiritually dead. So the spirit of Jesus had to be put in that womb. You understand now, guys? This thing should make sense. So Jesus is now coming. The guy through whom Adam was born, you understand, is now coming, is put in the womb. And now he's the only one who's spiritually alive. In other words, he's the only one who can save us. And because he was living in heaven, he is the only one who can preach this message of the kingdom of heaven. He is the only one who can show the kingdom of heaven to certain individuals. He is the only one who can preach. Guys, I don't know, guys, if you understand this. He is the only one who can teach this message of kingdom of heaven. And also because his blood is not tainted, he is the only one who can provide a pure blood. That's why Jesus had to be born by a virgin. Now, guys, you understand. So Jesus, guys, is not a religion. Christianity can't be a religion because of that. But if I pick someone because I say, oh, because I'm black, I'm picking this one, that would be a religion, because I'm picking someone who's spiritually dead, who came from the lineage of Adam, whose blood is tainted. That person can't help me. Guys, if you pick me, I can't help you. My blood, guys, is not right. You understand? It's tainted. I was taken from Adam. I came from the lineage of Adam. Your blood is not right. You can't help me. You understand? So it's only Jesus who could do that, because he did not come from that lineage, was put in that womb. And also, that guy also came from heaven, so he can preach the message of the kingdom of heaven. That's why he came with a different message, the message of the kingdom of heaven. Guys, now you should understand this. So Jesus, guys, I'm speaking like this because I want people to understand that they shouldn't reject Jesus. Jesus was a stumbling block. It's daddy who did that on purpose. That's why he says, see, I lay in Zion a stone that causes people to stumble. You understand? A rock that makes them fall. So daddy did that on purpose. Jesus is a stumbling block to the Jews. That, guys, the people he came from physically, he's a stumbling block to them because of the situation he was born under. And also with the Gentiles, he's a stumbling block because now, hey, I'm not worshipping someone from a different nation, a different race. You understand what I'm talking about? So at the end of the day, guys, we need to understand all of those things. And it doesn't help also because, you hear these young ones and they say, Jesus is white and stuff. And I'm like, he had to be, he had to come as a white man because of Shem. You understand what I'm talking about? If Shem was brown, Jesus would have came as a brown man. If Shem was gray, Jesus would have came as a gray man. You understand? He had to come from that lineage. It had nothing to do with the race. And also, guys, with daddy, race is not important because Adam is the one who gave birth to all of these people. And Adam came from Jesus, who came from the Father. So he doesn't care. That guy loves rainbow. That guy is a rainbow nation. You understand? That guy loves rainbow. He loves different things. I often call people crayons when I speak to my nephew because I'm trying to make him see people from a different view, that people are equal, they are the same. You understand? We are made from that guy's image. Yes, we died spiritually, but Jesus brought the blood. Our flesh, yes, is dead, but you understand what I'm talking about. So there's no one who is better than the other. You understand? And also, it doesn't help that TV is showing as if angels are white, and people are like, oh, angels are white, the first language here on earth was English. No, it's not so. English was not the first language. White people decided to rule. White people decided to take that position. You understand? At least if they had ruled according to Jesus, that would have been better. You understand? Because Jesus says, you walk it first, then you let others follow in your walk. You understand? But they decided, during the Renaissance time to go about and claiming other people's land and everything and claiming this and making us all speak English and what. Guys, the damage is already done. There's nothing we can do. But English was not the first language, not even close. We don't even know which language they spoke before Genesis 10, where they were confused by their language. They did that. You understand? Then there was English, then there was Zulu, then there was Afrikaans, then there was Hispanic, then there was whatever, guys, all these languages. You know what I'm talking about? So it is important to understand all of those things. People don't understand because white people decided to make people believe that it